Hello, ladies and gentlemen. There comes a moment in every learner's journey when they realize something powerful. English is not something you learn only in books. It is something you train your tongue to speak. Most people believe learning English is about grammar rules, memorizing difficult dictionary words, studying pages of exercises, watching video lessons, or attending classrooms and courses. But the real secret is much simpler, much deeper, and much more powerful. Your progress in English depends on how much you move your tongue, not how many books you read. Because English is not a subject, it is a habit. It is a muscle memory. It is the sound of your voice learning to flow in a new direction. The reason millions of learners study for years but can't speak fluently is not because they are not intelligent, not hardworking, or not capable. It is because their tongue stays silent. They read, they listen, they think, but they don't speak. You cannot expect your tongue to perform confidently in front of others when it has not been trained in private. Just like you can't expect your hands to play the guitar without practice, or your body to run a marathon without training, you cannot expect your mouth to speak English smoothly without daily use. Your tongue is a muscle, and like every muscle, it needs repetition, practice, and movement. You don't need a classroom to improve. You don't need a teacher to guide every step. You don't need a partner to practice with. You only need the courage to use your own voice. Look at how children learn their native language. They don't study grammar books. They don't write essays. They don't answer exam questions. They listen. They imitate. They try. They mispronounce. They stutter. They repeat the same sounds thousands of times. And gradually, one word becomes a sentence, and a sentence becomes confidence. This is how you learned your first language, not through books, but through speaking without fear. So ask yourself, if a child can learn to speak by trying without understanding grammar, why can't you? The truth is, your brain may understand English, but your tongue still needs training to speak it effortlessly. Fluency doesn't begin in the mind, it begins in the mouth. That is why your first responsibility is not to memorize vocabulary, it is to wake up your tongue. Speak every day, even when nobody is listening. And yes, this means talking to yourself. Most people hesitate and say, but I feel silly. But people will think I'm crazy. But what if someone hears me? Let the world think what it wants. This is your journey, your growth, your voice. Stand in front of the mirror and speak. Tell yourself, I am brushing my teeth. I am preparing breakfast. The weather is beautiful today. This is not foolishness. This is transformation. When you describe what you are doing, you are teaching your brain to think in English and your tongue to move in English. With time, your mouth learns the rhythm, the pronunciation, the speed, and the music of the language. Because English is not only words, it is sound, flow, tone, and emotion. And these things cannot be read, they must be spoken. Do not wait for fluency to start speaking. Most learners say, I will speak when I become fluent. But there is a universal truth. Speaking is not the result of fluency. Speaking is the path to fluency. Just like you don't learn to swim before entering the water. You learn after you start swimming. You don't become a driver before sitting behind the wheel. You become a driver after making mistakes on the road. Fluency comes after you start speaking, not before. Every new skill begins with imperfection. Every powerful speaker you admire once spoke slowly, nervously, and incorrectly. But they didn't stop. And that is the only difference between those who grow and those who give up. Repeat with passion, not fear. Pick one sentence and repeat it 20 times. I can do it. Say it slowly. Say it faster. Say it loudly. Say it confidently. Listen to your voice. Feel your tongue move. Feel the sound becoming more natural. This is how fluency is built. One sentence, one repetition, one moment of courage at a time. Your only real enemy is not mistakes. Your real enemy is silence. Mistakes are teachers. Silence is a prison. And many learners stay silent because they fear judgment. They fear laughter. They fear being misunderstood. But remember, people do not laugh at effort. They only laugh when you stop trying. Every time you speak, Even with broken sentences, you become better than the version of you who stayed quiet. If you feel afraid of others, then speak alone first. If you are scared of mistakes, then make mistakes proudly. If your tongue feels heavy, then move it daily until it becomes light and free. Mirror speaking, the most powerful daily habit. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror and look into your own eyes. Talk to yourself in English. Tell yourself how you feel. Tell yourself your goals. Tell yourself your dreams. At first, it will feel strange, but soon, that mirror will become your strongest coach. You will observe how your lips move, how your mouth shapes sounds, how your confidence increases, how your voice improves, how your hesitation vanishes. 10 minutes a day is enough to change your speaking forever. Because English fluency is not about time, it is about consistency. Think in English, don't translate. When you think in your native language and translate into English, your tongue becomes confused. Speech becomes slow. Your sentences break. Your mind races to find words. But when you start thinking in English, the brain and tongue work together like teammates. To train this, look around and name things in English. Say small thoughts like, I am tired. I am hungry. I will do my best. Over time, this becomes automatic, effortless, natural. Listening builds power too. When you listen to English speakers, your tongue subconsciously learns pronunciation, tone, and rhythm. Watch videos. Repeat after the speaker. Try shadowing, speaking at the same time as the audio. It feels difficult at first, but it is one of the fastest ways to train your speaking muscles. Speak before you feel ready. If you wait for perfect confidence, you will wait forever. Confidence is not a gift. It is the outcome of action. Speak even when you feel nervous. Practice when nobody motivates you. Be disciplined when nobody is clapping for you. Because this is your journey, your dream, your transformation. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, speaking naturally, speaking confidently, speaking without fear, opening new opportunities in life. That version of you is waiting behind practice. Never say, I can't speak. Change your words. Don't say, my English is bad. Say, my English is improving. Don't say, I can't speak. Say, I am learning to speak. Words shape belief. Belief shapes action. Action shapes results. Speak kindly to yourself. Your voice hears everything you say. And always remember, if you can move your tongue, you can move your life. Every successful speaker, every confident person you admire, once spoke slowly, shyly, and incorrectly. They were beginners too, but they did not stop. They practiced when they were afraid. They repeated when they were tired. They trained their tongue until their voice carried strength, clarity, and meaning. And so can you. Today, make a promise. You will speak daily. You will use your voice. You will practice without fear. You will allow yourself to grow. Because fluency is not born from talent. It is born from consistency, passion, and the courage to begin. Your tongue is your tool. Your voice is your power. Your determination is your real teacher. Start speaking and the world will start listening.